Incredible comeback, but let me take you back to the City dressing room at half-time. How much trouble did you think you were in?
Yeah, a lot. I thought we actually done all right in the first half. Probably had the better chances, and then it was a bit like last week, really. We conceded a goal, and then I don't know what, we took like a stupid free kick or something, and then we scored another one. So yeah, it weren't obviously the best dressing room at half time. It was silent for a little while at the start, but the manager spoke to us, give us some encouragement, and I thought we were brilliant in the second half.
So Riyad, when you're in that dressing room and, like as Jack says, it's silent, is your mind racing? Are you thinking about the league table? Are you thinking about Arsenal, or is it just focusing on the job in hand in the second 45?
Oh, you're thinking about everything, really. Everything go through your head, but I think, like Jack said, I think we played good in the first half. We had the ball. They didn't have anything apart from the 2 goals we conceded. So when we come back, we was a bit frustrated at half time. When the manager spoke to us, and then we knew, and we've done it before, that we can come back from 1 or 2 goals behind, and that's what we did. I think we played so good second half. We showed what we are, and a bit of luck as well, but we provoked the luck and we deserve the win.
Jack, I saw you smiling when I asked Riyad if his mind was racing. Was yours?
No, well, no, not really. You're not really thinking about. Well, I weren't thinking about the table or anything that you mentioned. Just thinking about the game. Since I've been here, we've lost, I think, both games against Spurs. So
why do you think that is? What makes them a particularly difficult opponent for you?
Yeah, God knows, they sit in, they've got good, obviously Harry likes to drop deep, and then they have good runners in behind and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not too sure. And I thought that was the case, at half-time in the dressing room. But, in the second half, I thought just the way we started and the tempo, and the early goals to help. And Riyad was on fire, so it helped us.
You were on fire, Riyad.
Oh, we try. Yeah, it's all lucky, No, we try to, like he said, we start very good the second half, and we scored 2 goals early as well. So it put us in a great position to keep going and to push them. And I think, like I said, we deserve to win, and it's very good. We have to keep going.
Were you thinking, right, I'm going to be the guy, I'm going to get a grip on this, because the run for the first one, header back assist for the second one, then a couple of goals?
I'm going to be the guy, but I was trying, like everyone, I think even Jack, who tried to be more direct, more aggressive with the ball, and we start having chances, and then we scored. That's football, And I think second half we was top, and we scored 4 goals, so it was a good night.
Be more direct. Was that the message from the manager? No, we were actually speaking about it before the game. But it's difficult, man, against Tottenham, because obviously they have 5 at the back, and then the 2 wingers, Kulusevski and Son, also help out. So you have like the wing back, you have the right centre half, and then you have the right winger as well. So they like to double up, and they sat in a low block at times. So for wingers, it was difficult. But yeah, in the second half, once we got the goals, I think we were playing with confidence, and I think in the end we deserve the win.
Very last one, I'm going to take you again back to the first half. My highlight of your game, that tackle on Son, racing back.
What tackle? Wow, I was scared. I thought he was gonna foul him. He was the last defender.
You know the one I'm talking about, don't you?
I know what you're talking about, but it's never a good sign when that's the highlight of a winger's match.
I didn't realise I was insulting you. Sorry, Jack.
I'm trying to think now, did I take anyone on or something?
Just say it was a bad game, but I just thought it's not something we always see or associate with you, is all I was going to say.
Obviously, we've got to do it, haven't we? And I think... And then at the time, I thought they had a break, and Son's so good at this breaking away.
Not today.
Yeah, no, I put a tackle in, and to be fair, I think anything could have happened, but luckily, won the ball.
Right, on that note, do you want to hand the Man of the Match award over to Riyad Mahrez?
Well played,
Riyad.
For Manchester City tonight, I think it's massive. I think it's almost like a statement piece, psychologically as well. Sorry, I think they've won that now. Now it's a statement saying to Arsenal, come on, it's on now. And you can see by the reactions of all the players that they seem to feel it in their heart as well. That Spurs don't often concede 4 goals. They concede goals, but that in the second half was basically men against boys. They just controlled the game to the point where they just curled up and just in a way, just let them do exactly what they wanted to do, apart from giving away a few fouls. They panicked every time they had the ball at the back. They just kept kicking it off the pitch. They just couldn't retain the ball. And that's what City want you to do, try and play so they can intercept it and attack from high. And it paid off massively in the second half.
I think it was a huge statement from Manchester City, not only the 3 points, but the manner of it. You know, adversity, half-time. You know, we're thinking such a strong bench, surely the manager will make changes. We had a sneaky feeling that he might go stubborn and stick to his guns because he doesn't make too many decisions wrong. And then he's got no one correct. You know, he's left the same 11 out there and they performed in the second half like he intended from the word go. But they had an uphill struggle, you know, 2-0 down. But as soon as they scored that first one, there was only ever going to be one winner of that football match. And like I say, rolling the sleeves up, finding a way in front of their home fans. This is a statement win for them. They're back and they're the team to beat. If you're going to finish above Man City, you're going to win the Premier League.
And on that subject, we're going back to your experience as a Premier League winning captain. When you're not playing and you say, I'm not watching, or I'm going out to walk the dog, or whatever you do, and those Arsenal players at half-time would have looked at their tablets and their phones and seen that scoreline, and now they're looking. Well, even at this stage, what does that do mentality-wise?
Absolutely. I mean, you hear a lot of players that say, no, we're worried about our job. We're not worried about the others. It's total nonsense, total. They're there looking at that result at half-time. They're thinking, wow, this might be 3 points we haven't got to win. You know, if we can, it helps us. It's going to help us along the way here. And then when they switch it on at the end and they see 4-2, it hits you. It makes you feel sick. But then you have to go and do your job. And now you know they're behind you now. They're coming, and they're coming strong because they have the experience of doing it. They come from behind. They've won from the front. They know all different ways to win this Premier League. Now, Arsenal have to try and change the trend, do it for the first time in a very, very long time with these fresh players. Fantastic what they're doing up to now, Mikel Arteta's team. Brilliant. Great young squad. Like I say, you've got Jesus, who's had the experience. And they come out and score 4 second-half goals. Now, Erling Haaland's face there, the only time I've seen him that happy is when he's got a ball under his arm, when he's scored a hat-trick. It's a relief to him. He's listening to the noise about he's not scored in the last few games. That was massive for him tonight to score. You can tell by his reaction, the smile so wide on his face. And for them to stay out there that long is quite unusual, Shaun.
It definitely is. I think at halftime whistle, we heard a few boos here or there, and which I thought was unusual in general, especially with City being in second place. But I think the players responded in kind in the second half, and the fans responded in kind to what the players did. And at home, if you always have that fan base behind you, it's 100% like the 12th man, and it just pushes. Even if you're tired, you've managed to find that extra yard or that extra sprint. Like the last tackle that Ake put in, where it tries to get slide. Normally he's tired, but the crowd keep you going and you get that last run out. He's stuck with what he thought, and we've both in there thought that it might be a stubborn decision, but obviously, like Tim said off air, you can't argue with Pep. He knows what he's doing, and I think the difference in the second half was that you had your two wingers driving and committing the fullbacks, and you had people like Alvarez and Haaland running in behind, and it was stretching the game and creating little pockets of space, and just felt like after that Spurs couldn't deal with it, and they just got deeper and deeper.
Always down to the wingers, isn't it, Shaun? What about Spurs? I mean, as you say, it's only the second time in the Conte they've been winning and lost.
Yeah, I said as soon as Man City score, if they score, they need to stay strong, resilient, everything they didn't do. They folded like a pack of cards. As soon as City scored, they folded. It was such a weak second half performance from Tottenham. There was no fight. They retreated into their box. They took punch after punch, and eventually they got knocked out. They got exactly what they deserved from the game. Nothing.
I have to totally agree. We was obviously, when we was both watching the game, we said the same thing. We said that if City score early here, Spurs will fold, which I think if you go over the last few games when they have been behind in games, they've always been a lot stronger in the second half. Today's game was just completely the opposite. Alvarez there giving away his shorts.
I was going to say, we normally see shirts, not necessarily shorts. But he has the Argentinian pants, so that's good news for him. But I mean, those City players, Erling Haaland is lapping up every single second of this.
So this is unusual, no? I mean, these players, I mean, they show their appreciation normally to the fans of Man City. But this is something a little bit special here. I think Pep's told them, we need some help here.
They know the significance.
Let's get them on side here. We're 2-0 down at half-time against a very, very strong...
Antonio, what's your reaction to that performance tonight?
My reaction, and it's difficult to explain the loss, but especially the second half, because I think that we played a good game. And if I have to compare the game that we played compare last season, I'm more happy today for the performance of my players, because today we played, we get the chances, and last season against Manchester City had a lot of possession ball, and we played a really good defensively game. But you know, at the end, it's important to have a result, and today we are talking about a loss, and for sure, my players after a good first half, and with the whole team, we have to try to manage much better the second half, because when you consider the first goal after a few minutes, and then you have to. If you have experience, if you are used to, yes, if you are, I tell you, if you have experience, okay, you manage the situation much better, because you stay calm, you wait that the tough moment, past the tough moment, yeah, but. I continue to repeat the same thing. I think that the team is a good team, and we played good games. We are having a good performance, but you know, in the last two games we played against the first and the second on the table, and in these two games you can understand that we have a path to do, and I always spoke about the process. I think that Tottenham has just started this process to try to become more competitive and to fight for something important, and then we have to continue to work and to improve these players, also to improve the experience to manage this type